Today is all about our tap shoe maintenance. Tap shoes bring about a slightly different challenge, and it doesn't matter if you are wearing flats or characters. When we look at our taps, we need to always do a screw check. You want to make sure that you do not feel any of the screws protruding off of the tap. Reason being, that means the screw is too loose. That means you're likely to really do some gnarly damage to the dance floors. Whether if you're dancing on marley, you can tear up holes in the marley. If you're dancing on wood, you can actually almost engrave the wood with your taps, and it's going to cause faster deterioration to the shoes, and you just don't want that. You also want to make sure that there's no weird scuffs happening to your taps. One thing you will find with your tap shoes is that there is lettering on them. That is there for a purpose. That tells you if your tap has run out. The flatter those words are, then the sooner you are to needing new taps. Think of it as like treads on a tire. At some point, it wears away. You're working with metal here. At some point, it works away. Taps are fairly easy to replace. You can buy replacement taps, and you just pop the screws off. There is a fiber board that can go underneath, and mind you, this does depend on what type of tap shoe you have too, so there are little nuances and little differences. But for the ball of the foot, there is typically a fiber board that gets placed under the tap board. It gets tacked in. There are little tacks that come with. And then you attach the tap on top of that, and you screw that into the shoe. That's the same way you also apply taps to your characters if you purchase them separately. In order to fix the screws, I always keep a screwdriver. I always keep one on hand. You should always be checking this before class. Reason being, you never know when all of a sudden one of the screws gets loose. All you have to do is tighten it just a little bit. You can also tune your taps by doing that. There are some dancers that like to have them a little bit looser so you get a little bit more reverb. Some like to have the screws all the way snug so it's a nice solid sound. There are different things you can do with your taps. You'll also find that others have different types of fiberboards in there and different types of taps depending on the style of tap you may be performing. There are some tap shoes that are riveted on or only have one screw. The more advanced you get, the more you should just not have the riveted taps, quite honestly. They don't allow for nearly as much dancer control. When we look at what happens next with your tap shoes, you have usually a rubber area of the sole. On occasion, it can get torn up. That same glue or adhesive that I had been talking about for like your point shoes and stuff can sometimes be used for this as well. You can also use an actual shoe adhesive to get that to lay back down and re-adhere again. Taps also often require the need to be buffed, and I'm going to talk about that tomorrow when we go into our character shoes. I will see you then.